little hands gone glove.
Hello, Cynical Butt again. Going to have a little look at religion today. So, call me cynical, but religion is the work of the devil, not God. Spirituality, mysticism, appreciation of the divine and other forms of personal belief, perfectly laudable in the privacy of your own home, but please not in public. Religion should be like sex, for consenting adults in private, with no one being harmed, exploited or coerced, and for fuck's sake, never do it with priests or children. Don't corrupt the children with obscene practices of cannibalism and vampirism, eating the body and drinking the blood of Christ. That's an incredibly twisted way to behave when you look at it objectively. Priests and bishops dressing in ornate robes, making people kneel in front of them wide-mouthed as they symbolically slip something in that open, eager orifice. These services are at very least pagan, I would even say satanic rituals. The Pope, who is supposed to be God's representative on earth, covering up all the sexual abuse committed by God's own ministers. How long has child rape been institutionalised and even sanctioned within the Catholic Church? Church of England appears to behave similarly to the Church of Rome. Prince Charles's friend, Bishop Peter Ball, was a paedophile. Prince Charles didn't believe the accusations and gave him a house to live in. The Archbishop of Canterbury at the time, George Carey, colluded with other high-ranking officials of the Church to protect Bishop Ball. Jesus would be spinning on his cross like a fucking Catherine wheel if he could see what's being done in his name now. Orthodox religion, blindly following the words of a book dictated and written by humans, translated and edited, rewritten and re-edited, and then retranslated, often by debauched perverts in positions of power with ungodly agendas. Fuck off, did God write it? Why, for example, did anyone trust Moses? Moses was deceived by a desert god, demon perhaps, known by the letters YHWH, Yahweh, who claimed to be God. But what sort of God has to resort to magic tricks to convince someone it's the real deal? Ooh, it's a flaming talking bush, it must be God. Or, is it a stick? Is it a snake? No, it's Yahweh showing off again. I have to admit the slaughtering of the firstborn of Egypt was quite a convincing performance, but why would any so-called God choose to behave in such a way? The plagues inflicted on Egypt seem like the demonstration of a psychopathic dictator. Was there any real need for such a diabolical performance? God, the creator of all things, couldn't come up with a more creative way of dealing with the situation. Maybe instead of mass murder, Yahweh could have done a few conjuring tricks for Pharaoh, as he did for Moses, just to show how powerful he was. It would have been far less unpleasant. Oh, he sawed a woman in half and stuck her back together again. Wow! He covered her with a curtain and made her disappear and reappear. I better let these bastards go. Their God really is powerful. Then Moses told the Israelites, in a paraphrase, "We are God's chosen people. He made all men, but he hates those bastards over there. In fact, if we do what God tells us to do, he'll destroy all our enemies and find us a land to call our own. And then we can wipe out the native population and claim the land for ourselves." And so became Israel. So Yahweh's chosen people believed that narcissistic racist bombast and followed him around the desert for 40 years. And then as soon as Moses' back was turned to receive the 10 Commandments, the people created a golden calf to worship from all the gold they happened to have carried round the desert with them on their travels. Somehow this tribal god, Yahweh, has become intentionally confused with and synonymous with the deity we know as God. Yahweh is not and never has been the one true God of monotheism. It is an imposter. Fast forward 1,000 or 2 years, this time, same God, or was it? Sent his only son to the same chosen people to be tortured, demeaned and murdered for our sins. Sins which we hadn't committed because we weren't born yet, in order to obtain salvation for humanity. The kingdom of heaven awaits, but only for those who believe in Jesus Christ. Ironically, who preach forgiveness and love. The rest of you will suffer eternal damnation for believing in the wrong God. Jesus never worships YHWH or Yahweh. He calls out Eli in Matthew 27:46, or alternatively Eloi in Mark, which is to be translated as my God, according to scholars. God's chosen people didn't get fooled again. No, they weren't going to start believing in that Jesus Christ and all that love thy neighbour bollocks. Our God doesn't like their neighbours. He kills them for us. You couldn't make it up. Oh, hang on, somebody did make it up, and they convinced billions of people to believe it. You couldn't make it up. Then you mix the violent narcissism of Judaism and the militaristic proselytizing of Christianity, lock them in an eternal war with another militant man-made monotheism, Islam, whose God is also the only one true God, and then convince them all that Jerusalem is their own personal holy city and let them get on with it. No wonder they kill each other. It can be insightful and comforting to incorporate the thoughts and teachings of ancient wise men and women into one's life. But these old books are guidelines, not orders from God. We all know right from wrong, and if you need to be told how to live by an old book which constantly contradicts itself, you really are fucked. So thank you from Cynical Butt. Love, peace, and see you another time.